Well, hello there, Lumion Design here with a quick Lumion 10 review. It's been a couple of hours since it is out and I just finished installing it on the computer. So let's go ahead and see what is new. I'll start opening the Lumion 10 directly. As you can see, the menu is brand new. Let's open up a new project. There is a couple of presets in here that we have. These three are from the previous version, but we have three new ones: forest, tropical, and suburban environment. So let's open up one of them to see what is what. But this pretty much speeds up your workflow, because as you can see, you have all the vegetation already set up in here 360. So it saves you a lot of time. There is a space for your model in here, so you just go ahead and import and start applying materials to it. So this is a nice addition from Lumion. Let's go back to the main menu. I'm going to open the new project. I'm going to import some of the materials that I already prepared beforehand, so we don't have to waste too much time on it. I'm gonna go back to the Lumion website. I'm gonna be flipping back and forth so I can go through all the new features of Lumion 10. So let's start with the first one, high quality preview. Let's see what that looks like. So when I go to photo mode, let's choose any of the styles, realistic. In our case, it says in here, click inside the preview window to update. So when we click, you can see the speed. It creates a preview, and Lumion says it should be 100% the same quality as your final render. So that is a time saver. You save a lot of time with this one, because previously you had to render a lot of times just to tweak your lights, materials, whatever, basically everything. So this saves a lot of time, especially when you want to create those posters and high resolution 5-star quality images. So this is a very cool feature from the Lumion, one of the first update that we have in here. Going back to the website, with all these new features in here on the Lumion website, you have a short preview video which will explain what it does and how to do it in Lumion. So I'm gonna touch up on these only very quickly. I don't have to waste time. You can guys check it out by yourself. Moving on to fine detail nature, pro only. Well, luckily we do have a pro version in here, so we can go ahead and check that out directly in Lumion. So we need to go to build mode, and straight away I can see the menu is slightly different, and there is one more button in here, and it's arranged a little differently. These three buttons were previously down here. So let's open up the fine detail and nature. Going to place mode. I'm gonna put it next to these materials. We'll come back to them, don't worry. So we have two tabs in here, trees and plants. So just select a couple of these to see what they look like. What is the resolution? There is supposed to be a bump or displacement on the bark as well. So let's check that out. Some of these big trees, these seem to be of the same species, so I'm just gonna choose only a couple of them. Some of these conifers. We have some, this looks like a French gardening in here. Some bushes. Alright, I think that's enough for the preview. So let's go ahead, zoom in. Yeah, these trees are definitely higher quality, as you can see in here. There is the displacement, or the bump on the bark of the tree, as you can see in here. The fine detail on these conifer leaves, as you can see. The movement is very nice as well, very realistic. Let's go back to these big trees and the detail on those. Yeah, there's a detail on the branches, as you can see as well. Let's check the bark. You can clearly see the displacement on the bark of the trees in here. That looks very nice and very high quality, so that is good news for vegetation lovers or landscape architects that use Lumion. Let's check this tree as well. Yeah, it's just the same on all of these trees, so that is a cool feature on these high definition trees. Let's check the plants as well. We'll select a couple of these bushes, and I can see right away there is a lot of these bushes are for French architecture or landscape architecture lovers. You will use lots of those in those garden designs, so that is nice for those people that are interested in those. There's a couple of cacti in here as well, which I can see. Let me select some of those and check them out. Yeah, these are very nice and high quality. This cacti is much better quality than the one we have from the previous version. Bush, nice movement in here, very fine detail as well. Look at the flowers of these cacti, movement as well, very nice. I'm gonna have a look and see if I can actually rotate these plants in 3D, because that's what I noticed on one of those previews from Lumion that they gave us, that those bushes were actually inclined on those slopes. And yes, I was correct. As you can see, guys, in here, these HD trees or vegetation that we have, the new ones, they can be rotated in all directions. That is very nice. Once again, for landscape architects, they'll love those, because sometimes you have to rotate slightly some of the vegetation, especially on slopes, mountains, or whatever you take it, or when you're doing a landscaping around the house. So any of these you can basically rotate in any directions, or in all axes, X, Y, Z as well. So that is very nice. I like that a lot. So I think that's pretty much it about the Pro fine detail nature or vegetation that we have in Lumion 10. Moving on to the big one. A lot of discussion about this one, displacement mapping. You can check the video in here. Let's go back to Lumion to see what it looks like. I've prepared a couple of materials in here to demonstrate the displacement. So I'm gonna go to materials, select some of these the new ones. Lumion claims that they have 34 brand new materials and more than 100, and I think it's 130 or so displacement materials that were done on previously used materials from Lumion 9. So let's select the material, as you can see in here. The tabs in here, these are new. This was not here before. I think that was it was put in here. You would have to open up the menu in here, and here is the displacement slider, as you can see in here. So when I put it all the way down, it is pretty much the flat surface as we were used to, and when I start moving this displacement, you can see the 3D bump appearing on the material. So that is absolutely cool, and that will add ton of realism into your renders. So any of these materials have the displacement, as you can see when you move it up and down, especially the rock and soil surfaces. So when I go back to the material library and I select the rocks, any of these materials that have the D in the corner have the displacement option as well. When I check the soil, there is a lot of materials as well. Some of them are new. I think these 6, the first ones are new, but when we go to the old ones, some of these gravel ones I think are old, some of them are new. So when we go to the gravel, I think we have one in here or a couple of in here. Same thing in here. We select the material. When we put the displacement down, it's very flat. Start moving it up, you can see the bumps starting to appear, and it gives you the 3D look. So this will look absolutely fabulous in the renders and very, very realistic. Now let's see how many more materials we have with the displacement. It's not only on the nature materials, but we have on excuse me, we have to go back to materials, select any of these. So it is on indoor materials as well. We have a couple of tiles, as you can see in here. I think I have them back in here. Yes, we have a nice mosaic tile in here for the pool. As you can see, I select the material. Here is the displacement, completely flat, and now you can see those glass tiles popping from the surface. We have a couple of displacement sliders on the wood materials as well. As you can see, it is very subtle, obviously, as it has to be, but in these cracks, when you move the displacement, you can see the wood moving up and down, which will create realism on those surfaces as well. We have some outdoor wood, as you can see, some planks of wood. The joints are clearly visible now. Select the material, moving the displacement. You see how it flattens the whole surface. And we have some on concrete as well, I believe. Yeah, outdoor material, indoor. Oh, this is a fabric, excuse me. So there is some displacement on fabric as well, which will help the interior designers a little bit. We have displacement obviously on the outside rocks, pavements and stones. All these a couple of them are new, as you can see in here. Some of them are from previous versions, but they do have displacement now available. We have some of the roof materials as well with the displacement, and couple, I think 1 or 2 of the metal one, or only one. Let's see back in here now, a couple of them, 4, 5, 6 of the metal as well. So you just have to check which of the materials have the new displacement treatment, but we definitely have now more options for realism with these new materials. So that is a big thumbs up to Lumion for this new displacement feature. Moving on, next we have real skies at night, Pro only. Once again, we do have Pro, so let's check that one out. Going to photo mode. Let's go to realistic. Where are those? Let's go to FX, effects, and there we go. There is a facelift on the menu in here as well. Now we have sun, and under the sun we have a couple of effects stacked up in here with a couple of empty slots. So we have weather, sky, and here we have a real sky. So let's go in there. I don't think there is any update on any of these evening, morning, whatever presets we had before. Sunset, clear, no, they're still the old ones. But we have a new tab called the night. So let's select one of these night skies and see what it looks like. Wow, it looks pretty cool. I like that a lot. Here we have a Milky Way. We can adjust the brightness. That is the same thing as with the real skies previously, so that didn't change. You can change the heading, pretty much the same stuff we had before. We have a couple of these night skies available. Let's click on the preview for the quick preview, which is the new feature, and there you have it. This should look like the real of final 100% render. So let's go back, moving on to next feature, and which is Aurora Borealis, or in case you live in Antarctica, that would be Aurora Australis in the southern hemisphere. Pro only, once again, so let's go ahead and find it. I think it was in the effects for the sky as well. Yeah, there we go. And there it is. I think this would be the best to combine it with the night sky, obviously. I don't think you can see it during the daytime. So there is your Aurora Borealis. You can adjust the brightness, color shift, you can choose the colors, speed, scale, heading. Basically anything you need to adjust, you can adjust, and I've seen, or you can actually check it in one of these preview videos or tutorials, quick tutorials. You can animate them as well, as you can see in here, but that would have to be in the video mode, and you can basically keyframe the Aurora Borealis and it will be moving as it is in here. So next stop we have photo matching Pro only. Once again, another feature for Pro only. I'm not even going to go back to Lumion because this video explains it very in a detail, and it is what it is. Now you can use real life shots and photographs and implement much easier way to implement your models and photo match them in your pictures. Next new feature in Lumion 10, we have height maps for OSM. Again, Pro only. Check it in the video. I'm not gonna load the maps, but what it gives you now, gives you more flexibility with the terrain. You don't have to manually sculpt everything by yourself. You can just go to your OSM, actually where is it? Well, I'm gonna go to Lumion eventually, just to demonstrate it very quickly. Let's close this one. Build mode, and here we have going to the landscape and OpenStreetMap. That's what it is, the abbreviation OpenStreetMap. On and off, it will connect you to internet. This will slow down the whole presentation, but basically you know what I mean. Everything is explained in the video, so we're not gonna wait for that. We'll switch it off and move on with the next feature. What we have is AI artist styles. Once again, very self-explanatory. If you feel very artistic, this is kind of an old school architecture presentation where you had to do everything by your watercolor or whatever if you wanted to do a presentation. So now you can choose a couple of presets. Once again, check on the video. You have all the presets mentioned in there, and it is a nice addition. There is an asterisk in here saying that minimum 16 gigabytes of RAM memory required. So many of you will not be able to use this feature unless you upgrade your RAM. Moving on to 364 new objects in the content library Pro only. With the asterisk means with the Pro version you'll get all the new materials, objects, whatever there is. Actually the materials are down here, so this is only for objects. You're limited for the limited versions of Lumion. Obviously you get about 1/3 of those objects, and the same goes for materials, I believe. So let's go back to Lumion and let's check very quickly what is new. Going to objects, where is it? There is around 30 new people, says Lumion, so I'm not gonna go search for them because I don't even know which one they are. I would have to check. It will take me longer time to individually select them all. So basically there is 30 new people. We have a couple of new cars. Once again, usually they're usually down here, but I think there is one in here, and then we have a new Mustang. What is this one? Oh, this looks like a, well, it looks like a Mercedes or a Chevy. Well, hard to tell because it does not have the badge in front for I guess trademark purposes. There should be a couple of new sports car. Well, this one was this Porsche we had before. I see another one. Okay, so now we have two Porsches, and they look almost the same to me. Well, anyway, if you have two identical Porsches, if you want to have, then we do have. There should be this Tesla was there previously. This Jag is new, new F-type Jag. We have Aston, yep, and this one looks new as well. Yeah, there we go. We have a new Ferrari. So 4 new sports cars. I think it said there is no one new van. Looks like a Dodge. Yeah, it is Dodge. Despite the fact that they do not have their badges. So we have a new car with no badge. What else is new? I think there is in the outdoor library there are some new objects, new furniture. I can see a couple of them in here. Yeah, there is a couple of more sofas in here. I'm not gonna go and select them all. You can go ahead and start playing with them with your own Lumions. What else? There should be an outdoor light, or it was at least mentioned. Oh, there is a couple of spotlights in here. Oh, they're very tiny. So for again landscape artist, we have 2 new spotlights. Let's see. There are supposed to be more buildings. Yep, there is quite a lot of them. We have a couple of new houses. You can see in here, but a ton of older townhouses or city houses. Yep, but I do not see too many modern buildings. Basically, there is none. There is a couple of industrial buildings, as I can see. There is a couple of warehouses in here. Some of houses and lots of townhouses and block of flats, but yeah, like mid previous century, I believe. What else is new? Indoor. Let's check what is new indoor. Probably new seating. Yeah, a couple of new chairs I see already in here. So we have new furniture in here for interior designers. This one looks actually even a higher quality. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is getting better from previous versions. So we have a couple of new furniture. Indoor, outdoor. I guess same thing with table. We had an update in the kitchen in the previous version, so I'm not expecting too much in here. There's a lot of cabinets from previous versions. Yeah, I think these are all from previous. So I guess there is a lot of new objects, but we do not have time to go through all of them. So let's check what is the next one. Next feature, we have the new materials, which I basically covered previously when I was showing you the displacement, so I'm not gonna do that again. Moving on to the next one, and this is a new feature that will save a lot of time and is pretty cool. I think this is a nice upgrade. We have the paint placement. Once again, you can check the video, or I'm going to demonstrate very quickly. Let's go to nature, and here we have a small tab called the paint placement. It is the fourth one. We had these three previously, so you choose any vegetation you want, left click, hold, and I think I'm gonna have to go closer. And choose the placement as well. Sorry, that was the single placement, obviously wondering what is not working. So here we go. There it is. So you basically hold left button on your mouse and you place your trees, basically paint your trees onto the surface. In here you can choose the density, as you can see, the density all the way up. Basically it's like a jungle. You can lower the density in here, and you can erase with the same tool, the same paint tool. You can erase whatever you painted previously. So that is a very nice feature which will save or speed up the workflow and the rendering process a lot, especially the sculpting or modeling process in Lumion. So I'm gonna just delete these so they do not obstruct. I do not see any option to select the size of the brush in here. I did not check the, obviously I'm doing it as I go, all these updates, so maybe I missed something. If I did, I'm sorry about that, but I do not see the option to enlarge or make it smaller. This paint select, that's it. You confirm, but you do not have option to select the size of the brush. Okay, and let's have a look if we can do the same thing with the new detailed fine detail nature library. So let's go back. Now we don't have to go back because I can see straight away with this new fine detail nature library, any of those any of the vegetation you can only place single placement, as you can see in here. You don't even have the option of random or mass placement or the line placement as in with those previous versions or the older type of vegetation. So the new vegetation, only single placement, as I can see in here. So I guess that's it with the paint placement. Very cool and very nice feature. We have a custom materials library. Yeah, I think that there is a update on. Let's go to the materials. To select some. There should be an update to. Yeah, there is the button Save Material to Custom Materials. So here we have the bottom. Whatever you create in here or adjust the way you want it, you can save directly to your custom materials library. You can check also the video which will explain in detail how to do that in the custom materials library. Moving on to next feature, landscape cutter. I'm not even gonna go because I do not have the model set up for this new feature. You can check the video. Basically what it does, you don't have to manually dig up your pools or whatever where you needed to get rid of the terrain that was covering any depressions that you had in your model. Specifically, as you can see in here, the pools, that was the most important or the mostly used. Next up is in and out control for movie clips. Once again, just check out the video. I already checked it. There is an option in here on your timeline. You can either make the video one constant speed or you can choose to ease in and out to make nice smooth in or out transitions from your speed of the main clip of the video. So moving on to next one, improved object library. Now you can see when we go back to the object mode. Now you see you have a bigger preview of your model, or the one that you are selecting. So that is a new feature, an update on the basically the face of or menu of the Lumion 10. And the last one, improved DWG Import. So basically now you do not need a bridge to be able to upload or import your DWG models directly into your Lumion. Check the video on that one as well, or there is none, as I can see. Basically what it does, you can import DWG files directly into Lumion, no bridge needed anymore. So I guess that covers all the new updates of Lumion 10. As I said, this was done on the fly because I just installed the software, and I'm gonna go ahead and start exploring more and more into details and start working on the new designs for you guys. So I'll let everybody decide what they think about the new update for Lumion 10. But for now, thanks for watching, stay well and stay creative.